I just want you to know that
Why?
I'm so sorry.
Why?
Tonight's Bachelor took us to Budapest and led us to the Final Four, and we are going to get all into it. So welcome back to Shared News, everybody. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality, with Kayla G. Kayla, we're in Budapest tonight. What did you think of the episode?
We are. I'm excited. I feel like this is like the calm before the storm. You know, we're headed into hometowns, women tell all, finale craziness. So just getting started, right?
Yeah, I kind of felt like this episode was almost just like the episode to kind of get rid of all the women that clearly aren't his person. And now we've really narrowed it down to the Final Four. Was this expected of the Final Four? Are we surprised to see anyone there? What were your initial thoughts on how everything played out?
I went back and forth when I was like thinking of who the Final Four would be, maybe a few weeks back between Kat and Ariel. Those were my two kind of question marks. And I think Ariel just in these past few weeks just kept the relationship kept going up where Kat's kind of went into a nosedive, right? So other than that, I'm not surprised at all. Those other three had it in the bag for a while, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. And I'm so here for Ariel. I think she's like my favorite on this season. It was Gabby for a while, but I've been really vibing with Ariel's quirkiness. And she's just so herself. And she just lives in her truth, and I'm really intrigued to see her hometown next week. I think it's going to be a good one. But let's break down some of these dates because we had to get rid of a few women before we could get to this Final Four. And of course, Kaity gets another one-on-one date. I mean, she hasn't had one in a while since the Dinosaur Museum, but she had a really great date with Zach in Budapest and opened up at night about losing two dads. Can you kind of give us a little bit more of the context of the date and what your overall thoughts were?
Yeah, I definitely think that Zach is obsessed with her. I really do.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely, we've seen throughout the season, he's got his favorites and his not so much favorites. And I feel like those two people can do the exact same thing, same conversation, and you get two completely different Zachs, right? So I definitely think with Kaity, when she was opening up about her family, you know, she's lost two dad figures in her life and started to get emotional. And you could see like, he's always usually like kind of prying from the girls, but for her, it was like, you don't have to even share if you don't want to. Like, I've got you, I've got this. I almost like felt like it was a little bit of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like you're my person, in my opinion. I feel like it was like a little secret code there. So yeah, they're in love. There's no way that she's not his number one, in my opinion.
I felt like that too. And he was like, you don't have to share. Like, we can save it for fantasy suites. We can save it for later. Like, you're good. I felt the same way. It was clear that he's so into her and he's always been into her. You know, he might have a thing for blondes. We know he liked Rachel a lot last season. Probably gonna pick Kaity. I think that's what it looks like, but you never know. They could throw us for a curveball. Let's talk about the group date with Charity, Ariel, Gabby, and Kat. Now, they sat in a circle. They got very emotional. I really felt like Charity thrived on this group date. I feel like we got to know her better. We heard more about her past and her past relationships. And I just really fell in love with her this episode. I always liked Charity, but this episode we saw her get so vulnerable. So I was pretty shocked when Gabby got the group date rose. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, you know, Gabby did open up about her mental health, which is one thing I love this season. Like Gabby and also Jess kind of talked about her anxiety the week before. I love that that's kind of an open dialogue on The Bachelor right now. And I think it's important. And I think it was just a validation to Gabby that he heard her, you know, and he appreciates that she opened up like that. But I do get what you're saying about Charity, because definitely Charity is one of Zach's favorites, and always I feel like he kind of puts her on a pedestal a little bit, like in a good way. She deserves to be on a pedestal. She's on mine too. But yeah, I was happy that Gabby got the rose, just because Gabby and Ariel are my girls. They're my favorites, and yeah, I love the group date. I thought it was super fun. It's funny that they're going from like witchcraft and then to a mentalist. They're really like leaning in. But Gabby's reaction with all of like the craziness and the heart and everything, she's so funny as usual. And I don't know if you, but like when he's like, imagine on a beach, like a cube, and she's like a glass one. Mine was like, I decided to do it myself, and mine's like metal with like a bunch of locks on it and stuff. I don't know what that says about me, but Gabby's is a lot more transparent than me apparently. But yeah, it was a good date. I was happy Gabby got the rose.
Yeah, I mean, Gabby did well this episode as well. I liked her headband. I thought that was a cute look for her. And Zach is into her too.
Yes, me
So
too.
even though Kaity is clearly one of his favorites, he also really does like Gabby. And he respects Charity so much, but I don't know if they have that romantic connection he has with Gabby and Kaity. But maybe we'll see that more in depth next week because hometowns obviously get a lot more serious. And it's the Budapest culture. So it's fun to learn about what they do in Budapest, in the city, in Hungary. So this was totally a fun group date. Let's talk about the return of Greer. Now she had COVID, which we knew. She got it in London, I guess, or maybe Estonia. So she actually had to stay back in Estonia a few extra days. And she ended up flying to Budapest only to get broken up with. Now, this was kind of sad because Greer was coming in hot, ready to make up for lost time. And instead, she gets sent home pretty much immediately after talking to Zach because hometowns are next week. She doesn't have the time to catch up. Now, I saw a lot of people on Twitter comparing this to when Logan got COVID on Gabby and Rachel's season. He never even got to say goodbye to Gabby, but they made sure to get that breakup on camera for Greer. And I didn't really feel like they addressed the awkward FaceTime call they had a couple of weeks prior. So what were your thoughts on how all of it went down?
I feel like at this point, the Zoom call was so long ago and so much has happened really for both of them. They probably forgot about it, to be honest. And yeah, I feel like Greer can't be that shocked. Like 3 weeks without seeing her like boyfriend while he's gallivanting with all these ladies in like a European destination. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Greer thought she was going to stay. Like the whole thing of her like walking up, I feel like I had like a funeral theme song. Like, oh, she's just literally just going up there just to get dumped. I kind of felt bad for her, but at the same time, were those crocodile tears? Like, do you feel like, was that like a show? Was she like having her moment, or was she, I just didn't understand why it should be so sad. It was so obvious to me. I don't know. What about you? Is it just me?
I don't know. I have some empathy for her. She was, quarantined for so long. She probably had the producers in her ears being like, Zach misses you, Zach misses you. And, the experience went so fast from when Greer was gone to where Zach is out now with his other connections that unless they were FaceTiming, when she was in Estonia and he was in Hungary, she just had no idea where he stood with the other women. She wasn't in the house with them. She didn't see the connections. So I understand that it was such a letdown for her to wait that long. And she probably feels just disappointed that that's how her journey went. And she also seems really emotional and sensitive to begin with. So I definitely can understand why she felt that way.
All right, you thought they were real. Maybe I was off.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. I like to always,
We'll see.
give
Women
the
tell
benefit
all,
of the
right?
doubt next week for that. Oh my God, we'll give our predictions very shortly.
I
But
can't
Brooklyn,
wait.
she had her one-on-one date. Now they went to the Budapest baths. Now this is totally a rite of passage. If you ever go to Budapest, I've never been there, but when I was studying abroad, everybody went there. I just didn't make it. And I know everyone goes there. So that was really fun to see. She also got very emotional at dinner, talking about how much she loves her grandfather and how much it would mean to her for Zach to meet her family. And her lipstick looked really good. I felt like she had a good lip liner and like a nice color. But Zach had to send her home because it's the final four next week. There's just no room for it not to be there. And I wasn't surprised. I kind of saw it coming. What were your thoughts on her overall date and how she handled everything?
Yeah, I mean, Budapest is absolutely beautiful. Everywhere they went on all the dates, I was obsessed. I'm like putting a bunch of new destinations of where I want to go throughout this like Bachelor season for sure. And with Brooklyn, I was honestly surprised she's still here. I see the friend thing. I just don't see that romance really between them for me at least. And I already also, since I saw like the teasers and there was also like a sneak peek, I feel like they all but spoiled her going home. And to me, it was, they kind of show Zach. Anytime he's nervous, he normally sends the girl home, right? He doesn't really look back often. But I mean, it was really sad to see Brooklyn being so emotional and but also like doing so well, just like saying how much like she appreciated the journey and being really mature about it, which I appreciate. And I think it's really the first time we've seen Zach deal with a really hard breakup. It's like the start of many now, but it's definitely starting to kind of amp up, especially with the rose ceremony. Like it was his first kind of sit down breakup too, So the breakups are getting harder.
Yeah, Brooklyn did good this season. She made her mark. She stood up for, people when there was drama, when she felt like Christina was doing something wrong or Kat was doing something
Mhm.
wrong. Like she had no problem speaking up, speaking her mind. I felt like she was a pretty decent cast member this season. She carried herself well. She was chill. She gave us a little topics to talk about. So I will miss Brooklyn
We
and I
got
hope
some
to
good
see her
one-liners.
on. Yeah, she did pretty well this season. So I hope to see her on Paradise. But when it came down
Oh,
to the
yes, for
rose
sure.
ceremony, there was only 5 girls left. Zach had to send one girl home. And as soon as he gave Ariel the first rose, I was like, I know where this is going. And he sent home
Mhm.
Kat. Now, Kat was really, I don't know if she was like shocked, but she was just questioning him, like, what could I have done differently? What was it? What was it? What were your thoughts on her goodbye and how she handled it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think we saw her kind of spiral a little bit this episode. So I really feel for her as someone who can like get in my head too. Like I know how that could be. I've never been dating someone who has like 5 girlfriends, but as much as I can relate, right? But yeah, I definitely it took really just really steady decline since Bahamas, and it really got me when actually Zach told Jesse Palmer that when they were in the Bahamas, he was for sure thinking he was going to meet her family. And so it's kind of crazy how much things can change throughout the process.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was like the drama that kind of happened. I guess he didn't really hear too much about it either. But,
Yeah.
his connections were just stronger with the other 4 girls. And that's kind of what it was at the end of the day. We saw him break down to Jesse Palmer. That was a wholesome moment between the two of them. So I was here for that. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, I love the bromance. Yeah, I love it whenever Jesse like pokes his head in a little bit. I'm like, "Hey, forgot about you."
So we are here at the final 4. We have Gabby, Katie, Charity, and Ariel. I think I'm most excited to see Ariel's hometown next week, but I'm also excited to see Charity's and Gabby's. I'm probably least excited for Katie's, even though I think she's going to win. But which one are you most looking
Same.
forward to?
Definitely Ariel, especially now that we know that her dad thinks the Bachelor is just full of orgies. Really curious about his character. And like, that was so funny. I think Ariel and her family are just going to be the best television. Who knows? Maybe someone from her family will be like the senior Bachelor or something. I'd watch that.
Ooh,
But
maybe. I mean,
definitely, right?
I'm still rooting for Gabby's grandpa.
There we go. I know. Forever, forever. And with Charity, I feel like, I mean, she's lots of crying, lots of protective brothers we were seeing through the sneak peek. So, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I think Charity's going to go home after hometowns. I don't know why. I think something's going to happen, but that's my prediction.
Well, we'll see. And the Women Tell All is Tuesday night. So we have 2 nights next week. So whoever goes home after hometowns, we will see at the Women Tell All next week.
Hmm.
So all the girls are going to be back. Brianna, Christina, Anastasia, Kylie, Kat, Greer. It's going to be a pretty dramatic tell all. I mean, I love a good tell all. I always love a good women tell all. What are you most looking forward to seeing? For me, it's Christina Mandrell.
I was gonna say the same thing, Zachary. Like she just really made the show. She was only there for a short time, but she definitely made her
Mhm.
impact. I'm curious they'll definitely bring up, I'm sure, the Anastasia versus Kylie. I'm curious to see if that feud's still going and kind of what Anastasia has to say afterhands of like, if she was there just for followers, to that extent. So I'm excited to see that. And then who knows, are we going to get any announcements? Every once in a while, we get like a bachelorette announcement on a women tell all or something like that. So I don't know. I always like a fun wild card.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear who the next bachelorette could be at the Women Tell All, or maybe we will see it at After the Final Rose, which will be in a few weeks. Usually at the Women Tell All, there's a few girls who get hot seats, and sometimes that's like their audition to see how the audience reacts and how they handle themselves in the
Hmm.
hot seat, and if they could be the next bachelorette. There's definitely been some rumors floating around the internet in Bachelor Nation who the next lead could potentially be. So it could be coming from this season or it could be someone from the past. But there is a lot of people online, especially Reality Steve, saying that it is Charity. So what do you think about the Bachelorette and who it could be? And would you be happy if it was Charity?
I think Charity was made to be Bachelorette. I think she's just so poised and elegant and she just has this presence that I think she would do absolutely amazing. Do I love a wild card like Ariel? Like get a little bit of a Katie Thurston season vibe? Yes, I would be
Ooh.
a little bit maybe more excited. Just like it's a little bit more spicy, right? I feel like Charity, um, I don't know. I don't see many like surprises from her, but who knows? I don't know. What do you think? Who would you want to be the Bachelorette?
I mean, I'm totally here for Charity. I think she, carries herself well. I love the diversity. I think that she is a cool girl and she's in touch with her feelings. And I think she's very likable. Maybe we'll see more of
Hmm.
her next week that could get us to get to know her more because, we want to know who the person is before we see the season. That's kind of been a problem with at least the past couple
Hmm.
bachelors. So I'm fine with it being Charity. I think that'd be great. I thought Gabby would be great too. Ariel would be iconic. I mean, she's probably one of my
I would
favorites.
love
But
it.
I originally thought I would love to see Susie or maybe someone from the past kind of come
Mm.
back to bring viewers back since it doesn't seem like, so many people know a lot of the new girls yet from this season. But, it is what it is. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we just want to support whoever the lead is for the most part. So those are my thoughts on it.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, we've had some really like who was Clayton? We didn't even know who he was, kind of to your point. So I'm excited for it to be someone we know of. If it was Susie, I would literally die, but also cry
I
inside
know.
for Clayton a little bit because I feel like he's still holding out.
True.
Um,
Okay, I don't know
but
about all that.
Charity, Ariel, Susie, any of those three, I would be happy.
Well, it's not going to be Susie. She told me on TikTok Live, so it's public info, that it's not going to be her. She's not the Bachelorette.
Not this season, at least. Who knows in the future?
Okay, maybe next year. Maybe in the future.
There we go.
Is there anyone else from the past that you think they could bring back? I mean,
Ooh,
I feel
trying
like
to
I would love to
think
see
now.
Tasha maybe get another shot, but obviously she's very
Oh,
far
that would be
removed from the
amazing.
franchise. So I'm trying to think of somebody who is still somewhat in it again. Like obviously Michelle would be great again. I mean,
Mhm.
Gabby deserves another chance, but not a Bachelorette. Like let's think of a contestant who would be really good to come back for the Bachelorette if they were to bring someone back from the past couple
Yeah.
of years. From
No, I'm trying
Clayton's
to think. There's so many
season.
people who are like in relationships now, right? So I'm trying to like take those off my
Uh-huh.
list.
Well, who got final? I was gonna say because Clayton's season, it's not gonna be Gabby and Rachel again. It's not Susie.
No,
Serene was
no.
fourth, so it can't be her. And
Oh
then,
yeah,
so
she's
maybe
shacked
someone
up with
from
Brandon.
Paradise. Yeah. What about someone from Paradise who was lovable last season?
Okay. Who
Shanae,
did I like?
Genevieve,
There was no way it would be Shanae or Genevieve. It'd
or
be a
both of
pretty
them would be
unhinged
great.
season. Oh yeah, for
Double
sure. I'm trying to think
bachelorettes.
of any like also like friendships too of like double bachelorettes again. But would they really ever do that again? I
Probably
feel like
not.
I'm not so sure that they would. I think they got a lot of backlash. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, who knows? No one is coming to my mind to be honest. I mean, I was thinking like maybe Teddy, but she's has a boyfriend.
Uh-huh.
Sierra also has a boyfriend. She was
Yeah.
people liked her for the most part until she went after Michael A on Bachelor in Paradise. People were kind of split on that. But I love Sierra.
Yeah, and then even like Matt James's season, the season before, it's not going to be Michelle. It's not going to be Bree has a boyfriend. Serena P was Final Four, but she's with Joe. And then
They all
Piper,
found
she
love,
went to
Zachary.
fifth. Maybe Chelsea. But then I think Chelsea went to
Ooh,
Bachelor in Paradise
Chelsea.
Canada.
She just came out with saying how hard it's been to date after The Bachelor. So I don't know. Is that the little tease? I don't know.
Chelsea, not a bad call.
I like Chelsea.
And then if we're really gonna go back, The Bachelor before Matt James was
Who
Peter.
was that?
And then Maddie's in love,
Oh,
Hannah Ann's in love, Victoria F is in love. And then who was his final
Kelly is
four?
with The Bachelor.
Kelly's with Peter.
I
Kelsey
know,
has a
I've seen this-
boyfriend.
Chelsea.
So,
They're all.
they're all
I know we
taken.
need more singles in Bachelor Nation. I feel like they're all shacking up.
So it's got to be someone from this season. So it could be Charity.
think
That
so,
seems to
too.
be the word on the street. It could be Gabby. Maybe it will be
Can I
Katie
throw
if
one
she
out
doesn't
there
win.
from a different reality TV franchise? Inez
You
from
could,
The
but it
Perfect
won't.
Match. I kind of fell in love with her.
Yes.
I would watch
There's
that
definitely
season.
there's been some hype online for a while about like, Netflix women possibly becoming the Bachelorette.
Love
Some
it.
people were saying that Chloe should be the Bachelorette, Chloe Kardashian. But we've
Raven.
never seen
Oh,
that
Chloe.
before. We've never seen that before in Bachelor Nation where
Mhm.
they brought someone from a different show. So it doesn't really seem like they would do that. So it'll probably be someone from this season and we will probably hear about it in the next few weeks. So definitely let us know
think
in the
so, too.
comments your thoughts and your predictions. Who do you want to see as the next Bachelorette? Kayla, any final thoughts from this past episode?
Ooh, any final thoughts?
Or predictions?
I got
Fantasy
I got them all
suites?
out. I mean, I definitely have my top 2 is Katie and Gabby, and I cannot wait. I'm counting on the days till Fantasy Suites because I want to see the drama that happens. No sex week, and it looks like he fails. I want to see who he failed with, the fallout. I love that messy drama, and I feel like it's really just what the season is needing because not as much drama as I'd like. And I think you also, Zachary, have said something similar.
I have, and that's how I enjoy that when I watch reality TV. But you know what? Bachelor Nation is very loyal. And I think there's a lot of people in Bachelor Nation who are really loving this season. The ones that are still hanging on and supporting it and probably watching this video and probably watching all the recaps, they're into the no drama season. They want to see the love. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's like the people who watch The Bachelor and are either watching, all these videos, all these updates because they're invested in the season and this is what they like. So even though I'm into the drama, I understand that most people who are invested probably aren't. And I love that for you guys. I think that's great.
Yes, but I can't wait for the messiness.
I know. Women tell all, please. I'm ready. Popcorn
Yes.
ready. Okay,
Exactly.
well,
Got my tea.
that is our recap for tonight. So feel free to let us know your thoughts in the comments, and do not forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you're always updated on all things Bachelor Nation. I am your host, Zachary Reality, joined with Kayla G. You guys can find us on our socials. They're on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.